Hello and welcome to the Showboys Newscast, bringing you all news and no opinion. I'm Mike.
And I am Pixel Nick.
Thanks for joining us. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get right into it. Starting things off, as always, just because our Google Sheet gets alphabetically organized before we write up our article summaries. Starting off with some DC news. Should be no shock to you if you're a returning listener to the newscast, but we'll start this DC news segment off with a confirmation of Michael Keaton reprising his role as Batman in the upcoming Flash movie. So last newscast, I remember this distinctly because literally the next day after our newscast was recorded, I was scrolling through Facebook and, we had reported that it was kind of up in the air whether or not Michael Keaton was returning. And like literally the next day, I found this article and I was like, of course I would find this the day after we recorded. But per Keaton's talent agency, ICM Partners, Keaton has been confirmed to be playing his version of Batman in Ezra Miller's The Flash movie. Like I said, found this article the day after our last newscast. Which we reported that Keaton's return was up in the air. And just a side note here, The Flash began shooting in the UK a couple weeks ago and is set to release November 4th of 2022. So that's exciting. Love Michael Keaton, so I'm excited that he has been confirmed. We have some additional DC casting news. Some other notable characters that were cast recently being Jonathan Crane in season 3 of Titans. He will be played by Mad Men's Vincent Kartheiser. I hope I said that right. So season 3 of Titans will release on HBO Max and is going to be set in Gotham, and we'll also be introducing Barbara Gordon, who will be played by Savannah Welch, Tim Drake, who will be played by Jay Lacurgo, and Red Hood, who will be played by Curran Walters. The last little piece of DC casting news for you guys here is for the upcoming Green Lantern series on HBO Max, and they have landed their lead, who will be Guy Gardner, the Green Lantern Guy Gardner, and he will be played by Finn Wittrock. Excuse me. This series will also be landing on HBO Max and is headed by Greg Berlanti, who you might know from the Arrowverse on the CW, Mark Guggenheim, and Seth Graham-Smith. Now, it should be noted that Berlanti and Guggenheim were credited as writers for the train wreck of a Green Lantern movie back in 2011 with Ryan Reynolds. But I think, that movie was more of a train wreck visually than maybe story-wise. But Berlanti has built a decent little DC mini-verse on the CW, so excited to see what he does with the HBO Max Green Lantern series. And that might be the shortest DC news segment we've had on the newscast, Nick.
I would say so. At least, this year for all the DC activity. I mean, doesn't hurt. Gotta keep it short sometimes. And also, I wonder, is Guggenheim like one of the 9 realms in MCU? Because that's all I can think of.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. It sounds like it could be.
It's like just watch like both the Thors, and that's all I hear when a Heim shows up.
Or Valheim. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no, they're everywhere.
Yes, but hey, that was a perfect segue. I don't know if you meant to do that on purpose, but we have. This is like hot off the press here. Like I literally added this
hot off the press
a few minutes before we went live here. But the MCU Phase 4 schedule has been released, and I found this on everyone's, number one movie, show, film, pop culture news site, CNET, which is exactly where you would expect to find this piece of information. But yeah, here we go. I'm going to run down the movies and the shows and their scheduled release dates. This is really exciting, actually. So Black Widow, July 9th, 2021. Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings. Rip My Falcon and Winter Soldier Companion Series Theory. That will be coming out September 3rd, 2021. The Eternals, November 5th, 2021. Spider-Man No Way Home, December 17th, 2021. So that's 4 movies this year.
21.
Yeah, that's crazy. 4 movies. And the first one coming in just a couple months. But then in 2022, we have Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness on March 25th. Thor, Love and Thunder, May 6th, 2022. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, July 8th, 2022. The Marvels, which is the new title for Captain Marvel 2, November 11th, 2022. And then we have 2 movies slated to release in 2023, being Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania on February 17th, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 on May 5th. And then they also had the Fantastic Four movie on here, but no release date. This one's, to be announced at a later date. As for upcoming Disney Plus series, which have been a smashing success with WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier so far, we have Loki coming June 11th, 2021. The animated What If shorts coming summer of 2021. Then we have Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Those are all slated for 2021 and 2022 releases. And then we have Secret Invasion, Ironheart, Armor Wars, and an untitled Wakanda series, which is new to me. None of those actually have release dates, but it is exciting that we get an untitled Wakanda series. I did not know anything about this, but that makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean that's just a treasure trove of a lineup there. And just to add a little bit of color to some of those, Game of Thrones Emilia Clarke was cast in MCU Secret Invasion recently. The Hawkeye series has wrapped filming, and Ironheart, the Iron Man spinoff, is said to be 6 episodes. And then, very deep rumor, and completely not on this list, is the alleged Captain America 4 movie, which essentially someone went after Anthony Mackie at the grocery store and was like, "Have you seen this?" by showing him their phone. And he was like, "No, I have not. That would be awesome." So he just pretended he didn't know, or he just simply doesn't know because it isn't real. But that was like a little plug in there that I didn't even have any idea was a possibility, but it makes sense.
Yeah. Hey, it seems to be a Disney thing. Not to, poke a bear here, but rumor on the street is Gina Carano found out that she actually was fired, via Twitter. And
right.
So I don't know what it is with Disney and not wanting to tell their actors and actresses, important pieces of news like that, like either being fired or, hey, you're going to be starring in a movie.
Yeah, Anthony Mackie was just like, he also kind of elaborated on that. He's like, yeah, usually they just call you up, tell you to come to Hollywood. We got something going on, and they just drop it on you. So
yeah,
it's the element of surprise they try to keep, I guess.
Yeah, all that's exciting though. I mean, even those little tidbits you threw in there. Yeah, we do have some Captain America news coming, here in just a few short articles. But before spicy rumor here, we have an update on the status of the Netflix Marvel characters appearing in the MCU. So, again, if you've listened to the newscast at all, we've talked about the Netflix Marvel characters, mainly the Punisher and Daredevil. The rumors surrounding those characters as potentially becoming a part of the MCU now that Disney has those rights back and they're no longer owned by Netflix. So for this article and any future newscasts, I will refer to the Netflix Marvel characters as Netflix Marvel and the Disney stuff MCU. But yes, everyone's favorite Netflix Marvel characters have been long rumored to both be appearing in the upcoming MCU titles and also being thought to be completely dusted after the cancellation of the Netflix Marvel properties. Well, I'm here to tell you that we have more rumors of which characters might be reprised in the MCU. However, they will be rebooted from their Netflix Marvel origins. So we have Daredevil, aka Matt Murdock, who is played by Charlie Cox. We have the Punisher, aka Frank Castle, who is played by John Bernthal. Jessica Jones, who's played by Kristen Ritter, and Kingpin, aka Wilson Fisk, who's played by Vincent D'Onofrio. They all seem to be headed to the MCU. Now, they look like they're going to be played by their Netflix Marvel actors, but will be completely rebooted into the MCU, making the Netflix shows non-canon. The Daredevil / Matt Murdock character is thought to be the first Netflix Marvel character to work his way into the MCU, potentially showing up in the upcoming Spider-Man No Way Home movie. And the Punisher, Jessica Jones, and Kingpin being rumored to show up in upcoming Disney Plus series. The two that are kind of being thrown around are She-Hulk and the recently announced Hawkeye spinoff, Echo. Similarly, John Bernthal has been confirmed to be returning as Frank Castle / the Punisher by Giant Freaking Robot, though the specific plans of his return have not been revealed yet. So, that's exciting because I love John Bernthal as the Punisher. And I really feel like these Netflix Marvel characters, a lot of those Netflix shows were very strong and really, really good. And I'm glad that, the actors might be reprising these roles, even though the characters are going to be rebooted. I'm glad that they're at least sticking with the same actors.
Yeah, there was a lot of public dissatisfaction with the cancellation of the Punisher series.
Yes,
especially like even celebrities like Eminem was very upset, and I feel like he could just pay for it himself to get done if he wanted to. So,
right. So, this episode's taken a shocking turn because usually we are loaded with DC rumors. Today, we are loaded with Marvel rumors. So,
'tis the season.
Yes, the next MCU rumor is a Thunderbolts versus Dark Avengers project is reportedly being discussed. So hot off the heels of Captain America and the Winter Soldier, which is now what I'm going to call it instead of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it looks like there are discussions about a Thunderbolts versus Dark Avengers project. As Jordan so correctly predicted before our Falcon and Winter Soldier companion series started, the show did a fantastic job of setting up many new characters, some being very pivotal on teams such as the Thunderbolts and the Young Avengers, while also leaving Easter eggs of potential Dark Avengers characters. And I'm looking at you, Norman Osborn. The Thunderbolts seems like a foregone conclusion with the reintroduction of Baron Zemo, along with John Walker becoming the U.S. agent and Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine being introduced and being played by such a well-known actress. It would make sense for that character to continue on in the MCU in a big way. So that's exciting, which also is just proof you need to watch our companion series, because sometimes we get people on our shows that know what they're talking about. And Jordan was a treasure trove of Marvel information and speculation, and it was shocking how well he predicted the events of that show. But yes, moving on. Another rumor, and this one, here you go, Nick. We're bringing along the Captain America 4 rumor.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, a Captain America 4 is in development, starring Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, our new Captain America, and it's being written also by the writer of Falcon and Winter Soldier. But it's now being reported that his partner in crime will be, or his partner in crime fighting, I should say, because they're no criminals, will be joining him. So Sebastian Stan is reportedly co-leading Captain America alongside Anthony Mackie. And this is great because I love seeing Stan and Mackie together on screen. For some reason, I've been watching a lot of like press tours with Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan, and they're like hysterical together. It looks like they have like a really good, obviously they have a really good chemistry on screen, but it looks like they are like really good friends off screen too. So the more we can get those two together, the better, in my opinion. So yeah, that's exciting to me. Maybe someday Sebastian Stan will get his own series or movie as, the White Wolf, or, if they want to keep calling him the Winter Soldier, they can. I think he's evolved from that and is ready to, go by a new name now. But yeah, he's an amazing sidekick, for lack of a better term. He crushes as Cap's right hand, regardless of who Cap is. Side note here, Anthony Mackie was amazing in Falcon and Winter Soldier and plays an amazing Captain America with his own morals and outlook on the world. I loved what he did, his take on Captain America, and yeah, I can't wait to see him continue that in future MCU properties. So
I will say that their transition between the Captain Americas is one to look to, as far as like how you handle an evolution and stage of a superhero being reprised, essentially.
yeah,
it was done very well,
for sure.
overall.
Yeah, the series as a whole had a few hiccups, but we're not here to talk about that. But like you said, the important things they nailed, and that's really all that matters. So rounding out my little segment here before Nick takes over, we have some Sony news. I believe it was last episode we reported on Sony and Netflix inking a deal to send Sony properties to Netflix, during their first pay window for streaming purposes. Sony has wasted no time inking yet another streaming deal with a different streaming service for their properties post-theatrical release. So weeks after announcing this Netflix deal, like I just talked about in the first pay window, all Sony titles will land on Disney Plus in their second pay window. So I keep throwing around these pay windows. First pay window is up to 18 months after theaters. Second pay window is 19 months and beyond. So movies will come out in theaters. After their theatrical run, will land on Netflix for 18 months. And then after that 18 months, we'll move to Disney Plus. So this deal will run from 2022 all the way through 2026, covering all theatrical releases, meaning all the Marvel films will be located in one place, even though, different properties have different licensing. All the Sony Spider-Man stuff will be on Disney Plus with all the other Marvel stuff. But this also includes all of Sony's properties. So like Uncharted, Bullet Train, Hotel Transylvania, and Jumanji, for example, with all their other properties.
Very exciting. They're busy over there at Sony.
They sure are. What else is Sony doing?
Well, Sony is still busy, and they have announced another partnership. So Sony and Discord have officially announced a partnership to bring the service to PlayStation Network. So through a minority investment in Discord, Sony Interactive is planning to bring the service to the PlayStation platform as early as next year. This comes on the heels of Microsoft looking to buy Discord outright for upwards of $10 billion, which ultimately fell through. Jim Ryan, CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, had this to say announcing the partnership. At PlayStation, we're constantly looking for new ways to enable players around the world to connect with one another, form new friendships and communities, and share fun experiences and lasting memories. Further, adding that the communication service used by more than 140 million people monthly and popularized by gamers will bring a wide array of enhancement to the PlayStation Network. Without saying, this certainly opens up a slew of possibilities that will take the PlayStation Network to a whole new level and continue to position itself as a tried and true console platform by gamers for gamers.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Discord's a hugely built out and refined platform and service in itself. And just it has, we run our entire Showboys community through Discord.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine having all those tools available to you through your controller on the PlayStation Network.
Yeah. I'm just excited it's not Microsoft.
Right. Yeah.
We're both PlayStation guys, at heart. So
yeah. And once again, I mean, Sony, they are quick with the pen and inking these deals. I mean, that was just at the beginning of April that that rumor was rolling about, fell through same month, and then essentially the same month Sony snagged up their portion of it.
Yeah, they're there to scoop that bad boy up.
Yeah, they are crafty. But yeah, Sony's doing great. Very optimistic on them, the platform, everything there. They do a good job over there. They're very business minded, but they keep things grounded in what they care about.
For sure.
But moving on to the next segment, here we are. It comes nearly every episode. I can't remember an episode it did not happen on. But it is time for the Star Boys.
Welcome to Star Boys. We need like a little sound clip of a Star Boys, intro.
Well, now with our upgraded StreamYard, we can add in things like that.
There you go. We just need some air horns. Welcome to Star Boys.
I have some ideas. We'll do it next episode.
All right.
So nothing crazy here with some Mando season 3 rumors, but Wookiees ? There could be Wookiees in season 3. Completely unfounded rumor mill, whatever, not worth getting into. But hey, let's just be excited that we might have Wookiees and yet more Star Wars, because Wookiees are great. We all love Wookiees. Rian Johnson wants to direct an episode of season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Not here for that.
I'm not against it. To me, that's pretty neutral. I mean, he's not going to redeem his name through one 30-minute episode of The Mandalorian for anyone, but he's also, I mean, it would take a lot for everyone to be like, whoa, best episode ever, go Ryan. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like a mute point if he does. So if he does, I think that's great, because I love the multi-director concept that they do with The Mandalorian. I think it works really well.
At least with The Mandalorian, they have, John and Dave there to kind of keep them online, within the boundaries.
Yeah, and as a plug for the Bad Batch companion series that just started last Sunday, and we'll be running for 3 months here as we follow the Bad Batch. I was saying how he didn't really have much business writing the script for the movie he did.
Mm-hmm.
He should have directed. He should not have wrote the script. That's
go.
the blunder. So like you just said there, he can direct, but he doesn't need to be writing too much of the story, and all will be well. With the rumors, we are obviously entitled to our opinions, so there's a little bit of opinion with the news.
True. We are breaking our own rule.
I know. Yeah, but it's all news. It's all news and
some opinion.
Some opinion. You just got to have it.
Yeah.
Anyway, another Star Wars rumor that's continuously being forced traction, but I'm okay with it. Solo Darth Revan project reportedly in the works at Lucasfilm. Cited purely as a source within Lucasfilm with no other backing, there's not a lot to go on here outside of speculation and evidence. As far as evidence, it is known that the Clone Wars had a deleted and unfinished scene from the father, son, and daughter arc where Darth Revan was directly speaking and shown as a Force apparition of sorts. This was ultimately not included as it contradicted established Star Wars law about Sith and the ability to Force ghost or similar from the grave, if you will. Then in The Mandalorian, the temple on Tython is a wide-angle inclusion to prior Darth Revan lore where his order attacked the planet. Additionally, in Rise of Skywalker, it is believed that on Exegol, one of the Sith statues was that of Darth Revan as well. This, on top of fan desire, helps build any indication that Disney will bring this fan favorite back into canon. I'm definitely on that wagon as well. So there's been little Easter eggs dropped throughout multiple projects. Obviously, the rumors all the time. Obviously, the fans wanting it. So we will see. He's a very cool character, if you can't tell.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, but you get excited about it. So
yeah,
that's fine with me.
Yeah. Someday you'll understand. As for a little bit of news here, kind of ironing out some rumors throughout the month of April, the Knights of the Old Republic has been confirmed again by an insider source that a remake is on the way. A group known for their straight ports of older games, Asphere, is involved to assist in making the game a full remake instead of a port, as Episode 1 Racer got last year on the Xbox and Republic Commando recently got on the PS4. Due to the age of the game and the construction of it, I can see why a port would not work, nor do it justice, and the extra work to remake it is entirely needed. I've attempted to port this in the past. You can kind of get it working, but you're in a box that doesn't take up your whole screen. The resolution's all off, and it's just the controls just don't translate well for whatever reason. So a port would be faster, but a remake is needed, a proper remake. So we shall see where this lands. It's a great game and one I would suggest anyone play.
Very good, very good. We got some Netflix news for you guys now. So starting off, there is this amazing anthology series called Love, Death, and Robots. And Volume 2 has been announced. So that's right. If you're a fan of Love, Death, and Robots, it's time to get excited. The hidden gem of a series just had the release date for Volume 2 announced and a new trailer, and it's coming quick. Volume 2 will be hitting Netflix on May 14th, and Volume 3 was even teased at the end of the trailer with a release date of just 2022. So if you've never seen this show, please do yourself a favor and check it out. It's an animated anthology series of shorts, so it won't take you long to catch up on it. It's on Netflix, and it's received pretty great reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, 71% from critics, but 91% from the audience, and on IMDb, an 8.5. I loved the show when I watched it. It was one of those shows that I just randomly stumbled on, like browsing through Netflix, and I knew nothing about it, and decided to turn it on. I was like, what is this? This is crazy. I love it. So if you're looking for something kind of weird and out of the box, and you like anthologies, and you like shorts, and you like really good animation, I would check out Love, Death, and Robots. You have 11 days to watch Volume 1 before Volume 2 comes out. So yeah, mark your calendars. We have a very spicy rumor that excites the crap out of me, that Mindhunter could be returning to Netflix. So Small Screen is reporting that Netflix and David Fincher are back in talks for season 3 of the hit show Mindhunter. Since Mindhunter has been put on indefinite hold by Netflix, and the 3 leads being Jonathan Goff, Holt McElhaney, and Anna Torv, they've been released from their contracts since those 2 pieces of news dropped sometime last year. David Fincher has signed a 4-year development deal with Netflix. Fincher recently released a period piece on Netflix called Mank, and it's got some pretty great reviews from critics. It's been nominated for 10 Academy Awards. And right now, the only project he is currently tied to is called The Killer, which will also be releasing on Netflix. So, hello. Let's get back to Mindhunter. That show is amazing. I need season 3 like now. I got my fingers crossed because this was one of my favorite Netflix original shows and a top candidate, in my opinion, for maybe the best Netflix original series out there. Did you ever watch Mindhunter?
Yeah, I started it, and this brings back memories of the early days of Showboys when we actually did an episode close to this, and we discussed it at length, and just reminds me that we need to get back to some of those topics.
Yeah, I think it was on our top 3 on the Big 3 episode. And it might have even made an appearance on our period piece because it's set in the 70s and is very cool.
I think we at least brought it up, or we just pointed out it being a period piece in itself because we always point that out whenever it happens because we love period pieces.
I think sleeper, my favorite thing from this article is that David Fincher recently released a period piece called Mank. Like I need to check that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, lastly here, at least for me, Netflix, they're flexing their spending muscles, bro, in 2021. They are swole to say
every year.
So the streaming giant is quoted in their first quarter financial report to shareholders as saying, quote, "We'll spend over $17 billion in cash on content this year." This being due to production ramping up safely in all major markets, with the exception of Brazil and India. Side note, feel really bad for India right now because they're getting decimated by COVID right now. So that sucks. Hope that, is able to be contained and those people, get taken care of because you hate to see it. But this seems to fall in line with their spending trends the last couple of years. Per Deadline, Netflix spent roughly $15 billion in 2019 and $17 billion in 2020. And that's a lot of cash, bro.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before. It goes quick, though it seems, with how they spend it.
Yeah, they've really been ramping up. Like they're very much a believer in the you got to spend money to make money philosophy.
Yeah, and there's an important thing to remember about them. And when they say things like this, like the key word there is that it's cash. They are a very cash rich company, and 17 billion in cash is a lot different than 17 billion in debt being spent. So they're definitely spending the money and then making the money in the proper order.
Yes, for sure.
A little bit of Netflix here that I have. So Netflix is near to closing a deal on a Kiss biopic. I thought this was important because we touched on biopics the other week.
Yes.
Especially around music. So with a working title of Shout It Out Loud, and Joachim Ronning, if I pronounce that correctly, is set to direct, and he is known for Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, and Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. It is stated that the concert arena anthems will be a big part of the movie. I'm thinking
maybe Shout It Out Loud.
Yeah. you know. but in line with, you know, other trends there with the music biopics, you know, that's a pretty common thing. It really makes those movies something different. But what's interesting is that they said it will also focus on the duo's childhood in Queens as two misfits who find an unlikely friendship. So, you know, I could see a heavy way of going about this where it's like the anthem parts where it's just like the whole arenas and it's just a huge concert, and then, you know, flashback or flash forward to that or from that with their childhood in Queens. So I think that would be a nice way of going about it and tell a unique tale there.
I like it. It sounds pretty interesting. We got 3 more articles for you guys, so we're going to be wrapping up here pretty soon. We have news from Amazon Prime that Invincible has been renewed for seasons 2 and 3. So Robert Kirkman's animated adaptation of his Invincible comic just finished season 1 here on Amazon Prime last week or the week before, and was a smashing success. So due to its amazing success and the fact that Robert Kirkman is basically a cash printing machine with his IPs, Amazon has renewed the series for 2 additional seasons. So the comic that the series is based on ran for 15 years, so it was a long one. 144 issues between 2003 and 2018. So there's a lot of source material to work with here. I'm excited to wrap up the first season. I'm about halfway through, and haven't finished, thanks to you, Nick, for getting me sucked into Attack on Titan, which I'm not regretting. It's a great show. I think a little over halfway through season 1 of Attack on Titan, but that is a different story. And I really want to get back into reading the comic Invincible. I haven't read much, but what I have read was very fun and very Robert Kirkman take on superheroes, which, if you've read anything from Robert Kirkman, you know it's crazy. And crazy take on superheroes is always awesome. See the boys. But yeah, so that made me excited. And then we have a rumor here that Adam Wingard is in talks to return for another MonsterVerse movie. So Legendary Pictures and Warner Brothers are wanting the Godzilla vs. Kong director back to direct a new installment in the MonsterVerse franchise. No details are currently floating around about what this movie could include, but due to the box office success of Godzilla vs. Kong, it appears the studios are not ready to let that horse or lizard monkey die. Godzilla vs. Kong brought in a whopping $400 million, making it the highest grossing movie in the COVID era, which is a weird stat to say out loud, especially considering there were not many movies released in theaters during the COVID era. But hey, take what you can get.
I mean, to try and remember, I mean, before a wild success was like $1 billion. Like that was the big benchmark for Marvel and Star Wars movies.
It should be noted, though, they made $400 million in theaters,
right,
when simultaneously releasing this movie from day one on HBO Max.
Yeah, during technically COVID. So
it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I would not discount that number at all.
Yeah. So Godzilla vs. Kong was hit with some major backlash, though, as the story, I mean, we both saw it. We saw it together, actually. You saw it twice, I believe, right?
Yes, sir. I watched it on streaming first and then went to watch it in the movie theater.
Because you're a good show boy. That's what you are.
Tell me that method is not. Tell me that's broken. It sounded like it worked just fine. I watched it twice.
Yes. But we both agree. The story was all over the place. The movie was choppy at times. But that's not what you're going to see, right? You're just going to see a big monkey and a big lizard fight each other. And those parts were awesome. So, you know, a lot of the choppiness kind of due to some unfavorable editing and cuts that were made. Regardless, I'm all in for more movies with giant kaiju fighting each other. So, you know, bad story or not, I'll be there. Though I am a little curious about where they could go in the MonsterVerse because, they didn't really have many loose ends.
Right. And I mean, to kind of say where they went right there with what they did was I watched it on streaming for the story. There was no story. So then I went and watched in the theaters because what did I know? I knew there was a giant fight between two giant monsters. So
yes, we definitely need to see that on the 50-foot screen.
Yes. Yes, for sure.
But speaking of shameless plug, we will be having a Godzilla vs. Kong episode in the very near future where we'll talk about all things MonsterVerse and Kaiju related, which I'm really excited about.
Oh yeah, that would be a good one. There's a lot to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Last bit here as we work through our miscellaneous section. John Wick spin-off series gains additional details surrounding its premise. Titled The Continental, the series will focus on the chain of hotels that cater to the assassins in the world of John Wick and
awesome.
and expand on the history of the League of Assassins. Right there, that's great.
You don't even need to say anything else. I'm all in.
But there's more. There's more detail now.
Okay.
Furthermore, we now know that it will be set in New York during the 1970s.
So it's a period piece too?
Giving us a period piece of sorts on our hands. Should the world of John Wick resemble real life as we know it? I think it does. So period piece, assassins, John Wick hotel chain, whatever.
I'm down.
Bring it. The show will also focus on a young Winston from the movies. Lionsgate stated they took a lot of pitches for the show, but ultimately the creative team behind YouTube's Wayne series is what really blew them away and solved a bunch of problems for the story and setting.
Okay, so full disclosure. A lot of times when I'm compiling the list of articles, I just look at the headline.
Yep.
So I knew nothing about what you just said other than there's a spinoff series coming. And all of this made me so excited because, well, first off, additional full disclosure, I haven't seen any of the John Wick movies.
Right.
But I have seen Wayne, and it's one of my favorite shows of last year.
Yeah, I was reading it and putting this together, and it was just getting better and better and better and better.
I love the idea of an assassin hotel chain. That's amazing.
Yes.
We love period pieces. We love Keanu Reeves. And so everything about what you just said makes me so excited.
Yeah. I thought it was a proper end to this episode.
Yes, so good. One last thing. Have you seen the movie Nobody? It is a recent release. It might even be on HBO. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But it's starring Bob Odenkirk, and it's like a Big Lots version of John Wick. All of our Northeastern Ohio listeners will get that reference. But just imagine Bob Odenkirk as John Wick, and that's what Nobody is. So that would be amazing if they made like a John Wickiverse or whatever. Like Bob Odenkirk's character was somehow like in the John Wick verse.
Yeah.
They like met up at one of these hotels or something. I don't know. Anyways, continue.
No, I could see that. I mean, they might have something great on their hands here. It's shaping up well in our eyes. But once again, thank you for joining us. We hope you found this both entertaining and informative. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe everywhere you consume our content. Find all the places we publish our content on our link tree
at linktr.ee/Showboys podcast. Be sure to join our Discord server and become a member of the Showboys community to hang out with the Showboys staff and other listeners, as well as get some cool perks such as being able to see all the articles we had to choose from for this episode of the newscast, but weren't able to squeeze in the episode. All article links covered in this episode will also be available in Discord.
If you have anything you would like us to cover in more detail, show ideas, or anything that sparks your interest from this, please comment. We're available. Email us at showboyspodcast@gmail.com, or, as Mike said, join us in our Showboys Discord for all the community action.
Yes. Thank you again so much for tuning in. And until next time, stay